Hello, YouTubers, fellow watchers, anybody else that might be out there. Okay. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Tabernacles came and went, or did it? The answer is no, it did not. Okay. You remember that debate with Ronald Reagan and Walter Mondale? And Ronald Reagan really did bad in that debate. But he was interviewed after the debate, or sometime later, and they asked him, "Why did you do so bad in that debate?" And he basically said, "I was overschooled. I had too many facts in my head. I had too many numbers in my head." Well, that's kind of what happened to me. I had too many facts in my head, and I had too many numbers in my head, and as a result, uh, I forgot the obvious, and that really gets me ticked off. Remember, the next blood moon is November 8th. That is the true Feast of Tabernacles. Um, See, a tetrad took place in 1938 and 1939. A tetrad is basically when a blood moon takes place on the first feast day, Passover, and the last feast day, the Feast of Tabernacles. 1938, then it happens again. It recycles again in 1939, Passover, Tabernacles. Same thing with, by the way, that preluded World War One. Okay, I'm sorry, World War Two. Now, 2021, the same thing happened. A blood moon on Passover and a blood moon on Tabernacles. And in 2022, a blood moon on Passover and, well, this hasn't happened yet, November 8th, a blood moon on Tabernacles, November 8th. Now, I'm not suggesting the rapture will happen on November 8th. I don't really know a day or an hour. Uh, on October 25th is right around when I believe Rosh Hashanah will take place. Right around. I'm not saying it's on October 25th. That's when the new moon's going to take place. Okay. Now, about a month and a half ago, right around that area, I put out a video and I postulated a theory that Jesus was born on Rosh Hashanah, which fulfilled Rosh Hashanah. He was wrapped in swaddling clothes, which fulfilled Yom Kippur, and he tabernacled with men, which fulfilled tabernacles. The second, the second recycle, I'm going to leave blank for now. The third recycle, I said, okay, Matthew 24:31 basically talks about a general resurrection at the end of the 7 year tribulation. Or some people believe it's a specific Jewish rapture. I don't really know what it is, okay? That will probably fulfill Rosh Hashanah. And the second coming will no doubt fulfill Yom Kippur. And Jesus ruling for 1,000 years will fulfill the Feast of Tabernacles. Now, I postulated a theory that, the rapture could fulfill Rosh Hashanah and the Antichrist could confirm the 7 year peace covenant on Yom Kippur, and there could be a mock fulfillment of the Feast of Tabernacles. But as I think about that, I think I was a little too hasty to make a conclusion. So I hope in that video I made it clear that it was just a theory. But as I look at these last three feast days, I'm not convinced that that's going to be the way it's fulfilled. I'm not even convinced that the rapture is going to happen on Rosh Hashanah, and I'm the guy that says, of course, the rapture is going to happen on Rosh Hashanah, but I didn't know enough knowledge about the last three consecutive feast days. So I'm very reserved on that right now. Um, but we are close. We are close. Okay, now I shared with the audience in either my last video or the video previous to that, I can't remember, that I kept seeing 1111, and I said I didn't know what it was. Well, uh, it's now Sunday. As you can see the clock, it's 10 of 10. Earlier today, the Lord gave me the answer to the question. The anniversary of the flood is on November 11th. So think about it. It's the 11th month and the 11th day. 1, 1, 1, 1. And I'm like, wow, wow. I don't know how many times I saw the number 1111. And I keep seeing the number 333. I don't really know what that means. Now, I want to share with you something else that at least 2 children and 1 adult had dreams about the rapture in connection with Halloween. And I would love to share those videos with you at the end of this podcast, but I don't think I'm going to have the time because I have a lot of facts to go over to show you how close we are to the rapture and the day of the Lord. But I would like to do that on another video, okay? And I don't believe the rapture is going to happen on Halloween either. I think these dreams are largely symbolic, and the Lord's trying to get a message out. But I think it's interesting that more than 1 people had the dream. Always look for a witness. And I saw at least 3 dreams where they saw the rapture right around Halloween. So maybe the next video I'll share it, okay? And I'm still amazed at the lack of... there's not a whole lot of Watchmen on the Wall videos. I don't really know why. That's kind of a mystery to me. Why don't we just leave it as a mystery? But, Jesus said, I'm coming at an hour that you think not. So, okay, every Shemitah since 1973, there was a financial tumbling. 73, 80, 88, 94, 2001. This Shemitah, or so-called Shemitah, okay, September 27th, there really wasn't a financial tumbling. Yeah, the Dow went down to 30,000, and it went down to 29,000 at one point. It was up to 37,000 at one point, but when we were all locked down with that 5-letter word, the Dow went down to 20,000. So, no, I don't really believe that was the true Rosh Hashanah and the true beginning of a Shemitah. I really don't. I really don't. So, okay, now we can also be comforted that in Matthew, 24:38 to 39, Jesus kind of implies that the economy will still be intact at the time of the rapture. But after the rapture, well, yeah, the Great Reset will take place. So I would be ready at any moment, my friend. I mean, we are just so darn close, you know. Now, I would say if we were in the 3rd century, no, I don't think Jesus could have come at any moment. The world wasn't even remotely positioned for the rapture. Could we as a bride of Christ be here after the 11th, 12th, or 13th of November? I doubt it. If you want my personal opinion, I doubt it in the way this is set up. But we could. So if we are, we'll just deal with it if we reach that point. I mean, Hanukkah would be the next feast day at that point. And Hanukkah means Enoch, and Enoch was raptured, so there is some significance to it. Uh, but in the way it's being set up, and I'm going to explain further why I believe what I believe on that. There's something called Amazon One in Northern California. And people are paying with the palm of their hand. That's straight out of Revelation chapter 13. Okay, those severed pipelines causing nothing but problems in Europe. They're all going to be lacking for gas. And I'm going to tell you what I think. It's right before the winter, and this is prime for the battle of Gog and Magog. This is prime for Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39. So, um, I think we're close to that war. And I have always believed that the rapture is going to happen pretty much simultaneous with Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39. Now, a lot of people believe the anniversary of the flood, November 11th, is a very significant part of Tabernacles. Remember, Tabernacles is 7 days, or actually 8. Okay, another thing that's going to happen on November 11th is COP27. Okay, remember COP26 when um, the Prince Charles said we need trillions of dollars for a man in the background who wants to set up a military bigger than any country, bigger than any country or all the countries combined. So, wonder what COP27 is going to be. Okay, but it's almost as if the devil's crowd kind of knows, and sometimes they know more than the bride of Christ. Okay, so the last and final blood moon, uh, or the Feast of Tabernacles, is going to be the true Sukkot, and it's going to last for 8 days. So let me recap. I am convinced that October 25th, 26th, 27th is probably going to be Rosh Hashanah. Okay? Uh, the rapture, the rapture is not going to necessarily happen on Rosh Hashanah. I know people say that. I remember me saying it. Of course, the rapture is going to happen on Rosh Hashanah. But in like I said, I'm looking at these last 3 feast days. I'm not so sure on that. But Rosh Hashanah is the most favorite time for Christians to be looking for the rapture. Um, they had the opening ceremony for the one world religion, and I was just thinking, I don't know how I missed this whole true Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Feast of Tabernacles, um, based on the fact that I taught about the tetrads in 1938 and 1939 and 1920 to 2021 and 2022. So I don't know how I missed that significant fact. Yeah, we have a Gregorian calendar, but it's flawed. But when God puts a signature in the sky, He's trying to tell us something. Okay, I should have caught that. I should have caught that. That's kind of like being on the beach and seeing the Goodyear blimp, but seeing something else besides the Goodyear blimp. You know. November 8th is the same day as the American midterms too. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Okay, I was also told that the asteroid Babylon is coming to Earth very soon, and probably right around the anniversary of Noah's flood, which I personally believe is November 11th or at the latest maybe the 12th or the 13th. Now, I don't know much about the asteroid, so I don't really want to talk about it too much, but with all this evidence, we are pretty close. I don't know whether somebody gave some asteroid a nickname Babylon or whether it's really called Babylon, but there's rumors. Okay, there's rumors. So, okay, so I hope you got a lot out of this presentation. And once again, I don't have the time to share those videos. I really wanted to, but this would be too long if I shared them. So perhaps for another podcast. Um, in the past they were fire drills. This is the real thing, guys. It really is. I would be ready at any moment for the rapture. That's how close I believe we are. So if you don't know Jesus as your personal Savior, I would accept Him into your heart today or tonight. I would not tarry on this decision if you're in this category. So I guess this is where I sign off. So I just want to tell you, friend, that you're very dear to my heart, and perhaps we will meet in heaven. So, okay, friend, let me sign off, okay?